Right then, onwards and upwards. We've got some more fittings. 90 elbow there. Got another 90 there. And another 90 there. I've got those two yesterday while at work. So onwards and upwards with this ball valve. Try and get this up and run today. Today being Saturday the 17th of May. But I'll just show you what I did have set up for this, and yeah, I think all these fittings are push fits. There, push fit there, push fit there, push fit there, push fit there, and push fit there. They're okay. I mean, I've had no trouble with them before, but it's always in the back of the mind. Those fittings coming off, especially when you're tinkering around with this box filter. So hopefully the new pipework will be solvent weld up until this section there. I'm going to keep this push fit still because I do like to, when I do these sponges and brush cleans, I do like to pull this box filter out, take it out onto the grass and get a good old flushing out with the hose. So the other problem being is, I'll just show you two ticks. Yeah, sorry, push fit pipe, solvent pipe, you probably will know this, is a different dimension in the width. It's a solvent weld. It's quite tight, as you can see. That's got a lot of play in it. So that is a 2-inch push fit pipe, which is a smaller diameter. So I've got to heat up a bit of 2-inch builder's pipe, heat it up, and heat it up, swell it up for it able to fit over 2-inch push fit pipe, which is a smaller radius, if that makes sense. It will make sense, it will go to plan when I heat it up and make a new connection. So fingers crossed. Right, so I've had a bit of a clean up, and as I've mentioned in previous videos, this air hose here is for the ring main. I've reduced that in length. I've reduced that by 3 meters, believe it or not. So yeah, I've taken off 3 meters because there's so much curled around that sole plug there. So that's now 3 meters shorter. I've allowed about just over 1.5 meters, i.e. so I need to obviously take that bottom drain cover off, obviously do a bit of maintenance to the airing and all. That gives me enough slack to stick down that conduit and pull that up. So as you may be aware, last week when I was doing the pond, I did pull that off. So I managed to stick that back on, thread the air hose down. You can just see it there. So that stops that from floating up on top of the water, on top of the surface. So ideally, I still would like to have had that bottom trunk in there, but that ain't gonna happen now. I'm not gonna completely drain down that pond. Just stick a bit of tubing on there. It's just like ridiculous. So yeah, that's okay now. That's not moving. That's not going anywhere. So right, let's do this pipe work. Right, that's my job, sweating the 2-inch pipe over the 2-inch push fit pipe. So as you can see, just see the expanding flange on that. So basically I'll cut off square and this off square, just take a little bit off. And I shall glue those two together. That gives me ample size to play with. And God, excuse me, I've got a frog in the throat. So yeah, it gives me ample length to have a tink around if I don't fucking pick up. So there you go, you know what I'm like. Think once, cut twice, as they say. Right, onwards and upwards. Alright, this is what I've done so far. I've taken about probably 2 inches of that swelled up heated pipe, just reduce this. Just cut off square. I'm just going to glue them together, leave that for a while, see how that works out. Well, now let's do this. Don't get a splosh. So, make sure you get this pipe work a good sanding down first, just to take off the film. I should give it a good key and gluing it. Splosh you on. Do the ends. Don't really matter on that because that's a purpose made joint, but any fittings, you've got a little flange there where the ends butt up, so I like to make sure it's got plenty of glue on there, push it in, twist it. You should get a good seal. Alright. Give it a twist, all the excess on there. On your finger, there you go, lovely. Joking. Ooh, it's a bit fumey in here. Right, just got to take my boy to work, so it's going to be about 20 minutes before I get back. So I'll be back in a minute, mate. See you later. Right, more problems. Right, you've probably got 1.5 inch flange there. On one side, on 2 separate pipes, I've got to reduce the flange. I've had to cut it down, as you can see. It's going to cause a problem. Just bear with me. I'll try and explain. It's going to cause me a problem when I connect up to the down pipe that goes to the ball valve. So hence, you can see the difference. I've yet to do on the other elbow the same thing. So I'm button them together. It gives me a bit of a more leeway to play for the down. It returns to the ball valve, but once I've got that running, or once I've got it all up, connected, it'll make more sense. When it rains, it pours, eh? Alright, more gluing. Yeah, definitely Need a well ventilated area and work all this shit. Let's do the ends. I'll go and get the other fitting and I'll show you what I mean. Lovely dirty fingers. I'll let that go off. I'll come back to you. So yeah, here's the collar I've just trimmed down onto the 90 bends. So this, I'll do it that way. This section here returns to the box filter. Right. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it might be that way. And that comes up, this bottom part comes up from the ball valve. So ideally, because I ain't got the width i.e. there, I'm just trimming them down, get them as close as possible. So it all lines up and squares up. Well, so lines up, squares up roughly. All right, let's carry on. Right, eventually done. Just got a slight leak underneath this joint here, is that rubbish boot, so I'm not too concerned about that, but slight change of plan. Yeah, obviously had a T, push fit T, it didn't work out, so at the moment I've just got it running on rubber turn elbow. I'm going to try and get a solid fit T on that, see if it helps me out. At the moment it gets me in trouble, so I'm going to obviously isolate this return, that's holding out. Yeah, there we go, it's planned. Never an easy job, but it's up and running now, just got to keep an eye on that. So yeah, a bit annoyed with that joint down there, so another reason why. Because that boot is on there and it's got bloody ridges. I thought it was a smooth surface when I got it, but that's my problem. Obviously the water's sitting down for these ridges here between the grips. So I just dumped a load of Vaseline on it for the time being. So hopefully it gets out of trouble, but when I get that Simon T, I'll get some more Vaseline, just cut that up really. I mean, I go over the top of that. I've got a joint down there, but it's like a slight trickle. I'm not concerned about that. I'm more concerned about this starts getting dirty too quick. It starts overfilling. I've got to keep an eye on that, so I need to get that up and running as soon as. So that's what I'd try and explain. But those elbow collars I've had trimmed down because I didn't have enough space for this. I think they'd be I'd be able to connect up with the old push fit T fitting, but it didn't work out. So as I said, I want to get a solvent well T fitting for that. Yes, that's what I try and explain. See how it goes down to the ball valve. But yeah, even I'd give me some recommendations for that collar that's got the grooves in, how to stop that from leaking on that rubber joint. Be much appreciated. So I'm probably gonna have to do that next weekend. I'll probably get a big tub of Vaseline. I'll just, the only thing I think is just really go to town and gung that up with Vaseline. Then put the rubber boot on it and tighten it up. Hopefully it should the excess of Vaseline should fill up those grooves. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that. So I've got a problem on that one. Well, it's got quite a nice flow on that. Seeing there's more what I've got pump fed, but pumps in there. 10 on that. Yeah, quite pleased with that. Quite strong. Yep, that's it. I'm going to call it a day now. Take 5. Top up the suntan. Yeah, so guys, obviously that ball valve didn't go to as planned, i.e. that T-section from the box filter didn't work out, so I need to get a solvent weld new T for that. And obviously the rubber boot, the flange on the ball valve with those little slots in is given by. So the other thing I think of on that is just get some Vaseline, gunk up with some Vaseline around that flange and inside the rubber boot, just squish that on and see if that does the job. So yeah, so well, it's up and running to a certain extent, pop those little leaks, and I'm only obviously using one outlet from the box filter where it's designed for 2, so hopefully I'll get that fitting this week and I'll make another attempt next weekend. So yeah, just enough then. So yeah guys, that's it, just a short one, just to let you know the progress is getting on, or not getting on in my case. So until next week, when I'm making third attempt, third time lucky, fingers crossed. So yeah guys, give me a thumbs up, be appreciated, and if you don't mind, please subscribe to the channel, I appreciate that. Until the next one, I'll see you later. Cheers guys.